So what does it mean for your financial institution? So here's kind of your to-do list. So what? So what? Here's what I believe, or what we believe you should be doing. First off, understand that your fees will be scrutinized. I don't believe this is going to just be a CFPB thing. This will trickle down to the FDIC, the OCC, the Federal Reserve. They may have a different take on it, but this is a joint effort, if you will, that's being led by the CFPB. So they will be scrutinized. And again, not just deposit. What's the risk? Well, for now, the risk for your organization is enforcement actions, and they're going to come by way of UDAP. Now, I'm going to add on to that. It's not just unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices through enforcement, but we could see that they pay closer attention to the detail that you utilize as it relates to how things are disclosed relative to Truth in Savings or the Truth in Lending Act. Maybe they've let some things slide by, or maybe it's been a looser interpretation. Because remember, some of those regulations are quite a bit older. And so there's some gray areas. There's some things left to the imagination. Well, they may imagine things a little differently the next time around. So the risk right now to me is UDAP in your next examination, and maybe they're more sticklers on some of the fees and the disclosures. The risk down the road, I think this is a big one. And I think Dave was kind of alluding to this with his setup at the beginning. There's a potential here for a significant loss of fee income, and not just overdraft related, across the board. Now, how much of this they're really going to get done, I don't know, but that's the potential long-term risk for your organization. So what to do? Now's the time to review your fees. I'm not saying you need to change anything, but review your fees for services, fees for the products that you offer and deliver. Ensure your fees are lawful, both by federal and state laws. And then make sure that they're clearly and conspicuously disclosed. Okay, and that is some eye of the beholder stuff right there. It's subjective, right? But that federal and state law stuff, you've probably checked those boxes, but just make sure nothing slips through that you're unaware of. So the next thing would be to inform management. Let them know about this initiative. Give them the 10,000 foot view. So management, your board of directors, don't let this be a surprise to them that they see, in the USA Today or your local newspaper or whatever it is. Make sure they have your take on it at the 10,000 foot level. Those risks that I mentioned earlier, today's risk, okay, here's the risk to our organization today. Enforcement actions by way of unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices. I think that's a real risk that's present today that's only going to increase. And then the risk down the road, that same message I gave you earlier, they need to hear that there's this potential for a significant loss of fee income, hey, down the road. Okay, and probably overdrafts are the biggest portion of that, but we thought it was limited to overdrafts. It doesn't appear to be anymore. Then give a summary. So I mentioned earlier, you need to go and review your products, your services, and your fees. And so provide a summary of what that assessment is. So make sure you do a little homework, a little bit of investigation before you go and give them this information. Or maybe you give them, here's the initiative, here's the risk, we're doing this assessment. Okay, we'll report back and give you where we believe we stand today. It's kind of like a risk assessment based on this initiative that's gone out. And so that's the latest, greatest with the CFPB and this whole fee thing. Again, we thought it was limited really to overdrafts, and not so much anymore. They're going beyond that to other products and services.